Bill and Nancy, we're at 1219 North Lopez. I have the listing agent who is also my broker, MJ Sauer, right here.
Hello. I'm also a neighbor. I live right across the street.
That's right. She's right there.
In the White House.
Oh, the white one right there. Awesome. So we're going to go take a look, and I have MJ who's going to tell us some details about the property. Let's go check it out.
Okay. So this is definitely one of those iconic homes that everyone, as I sit on my front porch, I see the back of their heads because everybody just drives by and looks at this big old beauty. They don't make them like this anymore. Apparently it was owned by a widow who, when her husband died, he was left a ton of money. This was like the early 1900s. And she built the home and lived here by herself, which is amazing because it's a huge home.
Right.
And then the couple who currently owns the house, as you know, it caught fire. So that happened during Ida, and they lived here as just a couple and had their grandkids and everybody come to visit who live in Metairie. So that was their desire for this big, beautiful home. When they bought it, the house, I guess there's obviously some foundation issues in the area. The house over there has some too. But the porch was really just leaning very crookedly. And they painstakingly took the whole porch apart. All of the stones came off. They were all over in this yard. It took a couple of years for them to do this.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that sounds...
They spent somewhere between $300,000 and $400,000 on the foundation. So even with the fire damage, there's still a lot of great details inside, but the foundation isn't going anywhere. We've had people come look at it and they're like, this thing is solid. So
wow.
That's really great because a lot of the things that are wrong with New Orleans homes, and especially something this big,
it's going to be cracks in the foundation.
Those things are unknown, and as you can see, there's no cracks as we go up and go in.
That's great.
And then you'll see this is like a big, beautiful porch, great grand entrance. The porch is over 1,000 square feet. It even wraps around here. When they rebuilt it, they put the concrete down, they recast all these. So these are, I believe fiberglass, so they'll last a lot longer, but they were actually made to mimic the old ones, which are still in the basement, but they're gonna just last forever. The ceiling is still original, but everything else has been replaced. And then you can see this just wraps around. Just a lot of really nice space up on the porch. As you know, porches are lovely here in
yeah, we're all about the porches.
Yeah. And then when you see this fire damage, this is actually when the fire started. Right here, there was a little shed that sat there, and the generator was either in or on top of the shed right there. And that's where the fire happened.
So that's where it began.
And then, yeah, if you sort of look at the outside of the house, this is the localized area for where it started, and then we'll see around back where it kind of like went up.
Okay, great.
We believe that tax credits would be a thing that could be used on this project. The tax credits are awesome because you get a portion of the money that you spend on the renovation as a tax credit that can either be used to reduce your taxes or it can be sold. There we go. I'm like, what did I do with these? Grand entrance way. I mean, look how amazing this space is. Big, beautiful rooms. All these details that are still here. Got these great mantles and the old tile. Big, beautiful rooms with high ceilings. Look at these doors. I mean, you can see.
Look how tall
when I stand next to a door, you can see how. I'm not that tall, but I'm 5'4" for reference.
Oh my goodness, yeah, those are some tall
and then
doors.
These cool old original bathrooms where they're the French style bathroom where you have actually the toilet in a separate closet and then the 12-foot tub. Obviously, these things will need to be redone, and they can be done in a modern fashion or kept in this sort of old-fashioned way. The bathrooms are all stacked on each other, so there's three. One on this main living floor, one upstairs where there's some additional bedrooms, and then there's one in the basement.
Okay. And you mentioned that the lavatory is right here.
Yeah, so here's
Here's the
lavatory.
commode. Okay. Interesting. So this is the old style of doing that. That's fun.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
And then the current owners used this as their bedroom and kept everything really the way that it originally was. They didn't change anything. In fact, the old kitchen wasn't much of a kitchen at all because it just was how it was in the old days. And I think that's one thing that would be really, that's gonna come out of this, is that there's gonna be a really proper kitchen put in here by whoever buys it, which is gonna be fabulous, and the space is here for it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So this is a really cool room here that I believe if you open this wall up, the small kitchen was beyond that, so it flowed into here, and then there's a back door that takes you straight down to your entertaining space back there, which would just be lovely. It would flow really nicely.
Yeah, and I'm thinking too of these big windows. That natural light would look
it's
incredible.
great. Yeah. So this like had a glass door, and they use it as an office, but it would be really lovely that way.
Oh,
and just to
absolutely.
have this grand entrance and be able to see all of that.
Completely.
I mean, look how wide this is. It's just beautiful. And then over here, you have your formal type entertaining spaces. And like a sitting.
We still have the pocket doors. Looks like
Dining,
those need to be replaced
those are
too.
probably too charred.
Yep.
But this is where we were on the outside. This is where the fire started.
Okay.
And then when you come back here, this is, like, be careful, but this is basically, I mean, the floors are solid in here. But this is all they really had for a kitchen, was this. And this
Interesting.
And this smaller room. So I think that, that's a very original type kitchen. I have been in there in the home for entertainment, and they really didn't have any counter space or anything. They just had the stove, and they had this beautiful old sink, and it's just they have another beautiful old sink like that, but it wasn't that traditional kitchen that we're used to seeing.
Right.
There's a little pantry type thing here, and
kind
some closets.
of. Yeah, it's kind of deep. Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So maybe like you make this into like a butler's pantry, and you open this up to that other room that's just on the other side of there where that office is, and you'd have a really substantial kitchen. But obviously, the architects and people like that know better than we do. But we kind of see the.
We're good with the ideas.
Yeah, we have the ideas, and then they can draw it. And then as we go upstairs, again, just like this big grand staircase. All this stuff is still good. The mantles, these are all original. The stairs are good. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
Gorgeous stuff,
Beautiful mirror.
And then like downstairs, there's this huge landing area. It should be great to have the kids, grandkids, like a little second sitting room type thing. It's just lovely. And then these big rooms, like.
Oh yeah.
Big room here. So this is where you sort of got that charred damage where that roof just needs to be replaced.
Right. Right.
The contractor said a lot of the joists are still good. I mean, obviously anything that's charred needs to be ripped out, but it's not like the whole entire roof, it's just the back. Another really big room here. On both sides, there's some pretty substantial attics, so there is probably some space if they wanted additional closet space or anything like that.
Okay.
There's some more room in here.
Floored attics. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're all, some real floors in here. This is like one of those cool old cisterns.
Oh.
There's two of them up here. There's
There's cisterns up here.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Now look, this is tall. Look how tall that is. So
Yeah.
if anyone wanted to pop in another bathroom or, just to modernize the whole thing, you can make a really nice master suite up here somewhere. There could be one downstairs. Just depends on the layout you want. There's definitely, in addition to the square footage we're advertising, there's more available.
Right.
So we said 4,500 square feet. That doesn't include any of the attic space. It also doesn't include the basement, which we'll show you. it has 8-foot ceilings, and that's just gonna be such a wonderful family space. Okay, so we did that room.
Right.
Over here, this
Yeah,
is
we looked
the-
in that one already. Yep.
This is the bathroom situation. That's
Okay,
the
so this is,
same
yeah, on top of the other
stack.
bathroom.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
And then this is the other.
And then lavatory here.
And then in here's the cistern. Again, tall attic space. They had loved this space. Like, this is where most of the damage ended up to, like, for the roof. But if you're just like thinking about a vision, this could be a really great usable space, whether it's just like when you redo the roof, you have some way of walking out into that space and having a little porch up here or something.
Yeah,
but,
some kind of balcony.
yeah, but there's more space up here than is in that square footage because it is tall enough and there is some other options.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's where the big damage is right there.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, what else do you want to see while we're up here and in
Up
there?
here, have we seen each of the rooms? And we've seen the attic.
Yeah.
I think that might do it for the upstairs.
Yeah,
I know we'd like to
let's
see
go
that
down
to the basement.
And outside too, yeah.
Yeah, I can do that.
The lots here are really special. Like, I live on this block, so obviously I'm biased, but this is one of the best blocks in the street because in the whole city, because it's a wide block, so we don't have all those like parking issues. There's like no parking issues because everyone has driveways. All of our lots are wide, the street's wide, and that's just like nice to have all that space. We have breathing room essentially.
Right.
But I think this lot is 100 wide, and so the house is really wide, but it does give you the off-street parking, but it also gives you a really great backyard because of that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so let's go
okay.
down and around. That's my house.
Ah, there's MJ's house.
They have a sugar kettle that was here, and it's like a little water feature, which is always been nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, so this is like their construction gate, but like I was telling you, we really don't have fenced yards around here. We just leave them open, and it's been
Interesting.
nice.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, so that's that back area where we're saying you can exit from the office and you can just come down here. I don't think there's an interior staircase right now, but that could be worked out. But big yard, like look at this thing, it's huge. It seems to be dominated by crepe myrtles right now, and if that's your thing, good. And if it's not, then pull them out and put a pool in, right?
Something like that, yeah, absolutely.
I could see a pool in there. And then, so this is the basement area. It's kind of dark in here, so I don't know how much you're gonna be able to see.
It's doing pretty good.
It is? Okay,
Yeah, it's
good.
doing pretty good.
So you can smell a little moisture. I think that's probably from the firemen. I would think basically to that wall, probably pull this ceiling out because it's
Okay.
moisture, but big room here,
Great. So these
cool
is
old sinks.
yeah. So these for the laundry facilities. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool
Yeah.
refrigerator.
The foundation is solid. Oh, here's the interior stairs. Yeah, there is interior stairs. So if you wanted to combine this into living space, you could either have, it's zoned for 2 families. So you could have an apartment down here But what I think would be amazing if someone wanted a big house is like, this is where the kids hang out. You know, you can have the formal space up there and have the bedrooms, but when they want to have their friends,
Yeah.
you have room for a movie room, you have room for a pool table, you have a ping pong table, everything can be down here. This is not included in the square footage, but is a ton of space. So they had their dogs down here. These people were dog crazy. They had, I mean that in the best possible way, but they had like 14 dogs down here, and they rescued dogs and they loved them, and they would just never turn them over to somebody else. If they took a rescue that was meant for them, they would move on with, they would fall in love. And so that's what they spent all their money and all their love on. They each had their own rooms, and this is a giant room, you know? And all these rooms are like that. So here's that same bathroom situation that we had stacked. So that's the third time we see that.
Right.
And then look at all this big wide open space. I mean, it just screams, let's hang out with the family. Put big couches down here and a movie theater and the whole deal.
Yeah, there's a lot you could do.
And then you
could
have
more rooms. Wow.
Certainly make it into a guest room down here too, or when the kids want to have slumber parties, you put them down here.
Wow.
You got the little rocking chair. That's just amazing. Just cool stuff.
So what was this? Was this again for the dog right here?
Yeah.
Wow.
There's dog cages in there. But that can easily just be ripped out. And then this, you come around here. Just be careful and step over this. This is the original columns.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And then they have this area here. So these windows, they paid someone to put them in, and what we think happened, they used interior wood. So these need to be replaced as well. So
Okay.
A couple windows here.
Okay.
But you can see they did a good job with the ceiling, and they did some other things that were done well, but that not done well. This is the front underneath the porch. They had said they were trying to make this into like a little ballet room for one of their grandkids.
Really? Oh, how
Yeah.
about that?
That would have been really cool. But again, just another big space. If you're having a big family thing over here, this would be a great place for like a ping pong table.
I mean,
put the bar in here.
so much space. Yeah.
There's just so much space. Yeah, so I think if you start counting all this space, let's see, so 45, that'd be, yeah, you're probably approaching 7,000 square feet when you do all this.
It's unreal. And we have another little room right here, huh?
Yeah, so that's the mechanicals and all those type of things.
Interesting.
And then, yeah, so it does have the interior staircase, so easy access if you want to keep an eye on the kids, but maybe like let them come down here.
That's right. That's right. Awesome. Well,
And then land's valuable over here. I would think a double lot like this would probably be close to 500 just for the land. You know?
Yeah, I mean, so big, and then you're close to Esplanade, and close to Bayou St. John. I mean, you're supposed
this is a sweet spot. Like most people want to live Garden District or Bayou St. John. I mean, obviously there's some prime uptown neighborhoods, but if you want more space, this is where you go, because you won't get that uptown. There's just no lots like this uptown.
Right.
That's honestly why I moved up here, because I lived in Irish Channel for a long time and I loved it. And when we thought about staying uptown, we knew we would be very close to our neighbors, which there's nothing wrong with that, but we just liked the feeling of having this a little bit more elbow room, being able to walk to City Park, being able to walk to the bayou, and then we still have our beautiful commercial strip with like my favorite restaurant right there, and many others too. So it's
awesome.
Yeah, we love it around here. I will never move.
Yeah, no, this is an ideal spot. Like I was telling you before, this is my wife's favorite area for sure. Just being able to walk to the restaurants that are all around here is really cool.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate it, MJ. I'm gonna go ahead
thanks
and.
for doing the video for your clients, Philip. And if you or them have any questions, just let me know. We're here to help.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.